I'm Troy Jenkins, agronomist with North Central Co-op. And today I'm in a soybean field in Kosciuszko County, Indiana. I'm looking at a soil-borne soybean disease called sudden death syndrome. It's caused by a fungus known as Fusarium vigiliforme. This soil-borne soybean disease causes symptoms late in the season, but is actually brought on by infection at the beginning of the season, right after planting. The disease, this fungus, lives on past plant materials and overwinters very well in a corn and bean rotation. In the spring, after planting, soybeans become infected with this disease in very cold, wet soils. They then become reinfected by this disease when they're in the flowering stage. A blue fungus appears on the root systems, and the root systems begin to die throughout the season. The fungus then injects a poison which travels up the plant and into the leaves. The leaves then begin to turn yellow and die between each leaf vein, and eventually the leaves fall off, leaving the petioles of the plant standing upright. Of course, the effect of this is that the plant doesn't perform photosynthesis, and consequently, at the key times of plant development, when we need to be sending a lot of energy to the pod, we don't have this energy production and the pods don't fill well. The net result can be some major yield losses, even up to 80% yield loss. So let's talk a little bit about what causes this disease and what are some of the things that we can do to maybe help prevent the problem. Well, one of the things that we can do to help prevent this problem is to improve field drainage, to allow the water to get away and not allow this disease to be able to prosper. Soil compaction is a major player with this disease, and when we eliminate soil compaction, we can improve the soybean's ability to outgrow this condition early on in the spring season. Another thing that we might be able to do is use a fungicide on our seed treatments. There are some now that are labeled to help prevent this disease from becoming as much of an issue. And of course, the last thing that we can do is just improve the total health, growth, and development by delaying the planting a little bit in the early spring seasons on these cold, wet soils that have this disease present. There are some other diseases that look very much like sudden death syndrome. The one most prominent is brown stem rot. And how we can tell the difference between brown stem rot and sudden death syndrome is by digging a plant, splitting the stem down the middle, and looking to find out if the pith, the center part of the stem, is healthy and the outer cuticle layer of the stem is discolored. If this is the case, then we know we've got sudden death syndrome. So in conclusion, we know that we have some major problems with this disease, and there are some things that we can help ourselves with, such as we can delay the planting date on fields that are wet and cold early in the spring. We can do some things to help eliminate soil compaction where this disease exists. And we can also try to eliminate soybean cyst nematode by using better crop rotations. There are some fungicides, once again, that can be used on soybean early in the spring planting system to help avoid the onset of this disease. So if you see symptoms showing up in a field that look similar to what we have here today, with leaves that are beginning to yellow and fall off with the petioles standing upright, consult with your North Central Co-op account relationship manager to correctly identify whether you're looking at brown stem rot or, more than likely, this cause, sudden death syndrome.